Hello, you're welcome. You're welcome onto my channel today, and it gives me great joy to observe you are viewing this video. I am Dr. Olayinka Akanle. I'm a sociologist, I'm a researcher, I'm a lecturer in the university. On this channel, I do a number of stuffs, but all the stuffs I do, you can cluster them into four: sociology, research, relationship, and migration. And I release content on this as regularly as possible. Meanwhile, are you subscribed to this channel? If not, kindly go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Tap the subscribe button on your screen right now. Click the subscribe button on your screen right now to subscribe to this channel for regular and wonderful contents. If you have subscribed previously, thank you very much for staying tuned. On this channel today, I want to discuss a very important theory, Marxism, or what some people call Marxist theory. So Marxism and Marxist theory, they are the same, but some prefer to call it Marxism, some prefer to call it Marxist theory. So this theory is a collectivity of the ideas of a great thinker that reigned in the 19th century, a German philosopher called Karl Marx. His ideas, thoughts, philosophies, have come to be put together as Marxism or Marxist theory. So Karl Marx was born on 5th of May 1818 and died on 14th of March 1883. Karl Marx was a German. This Marxism is one of the most popular theories ever propounded, one of the most applied and applicable theories ever propounded. Very popular in the 19th century, but even today it's still popular, which is why I want to talk about it. It's just generally, Marxism is generally the social, economic, and political philosophies of Karl Marx. And it's a theory that is based on the need for social change or social development. When you want to account for change or social development, you may have to look at Marxism for relevance before you move to other theories. And Marxism tried to examine the effect of capitalism on labor, productivity, economic development, and argues for workers' revolution. Because according to Karl Marx, capitalism as a mode of production. So what is a mode of production? A mode of production is the dominant way of a society produces goods and services for the consumption of its citizens, of its people. When you say mode of production, so we talk about the way, a manner a society organizes its production of goods and services. How do you organize the productive processes or situations? So that's what we mean by, in simple terms, that's what we mean by mode of production. And capitalism is a mode of production. There have been many modes of production in history. We can talk about Asiatic modes of production. We can talk about feudal mode of production. You can even talk about slavery. And in history you also have socialism, communism, that have been theorized. But capitalism is a dominant mode of production in current society. And what Karl Marx wanted to do was to explain the nature of capitalist society, the fact that capitalism as a mode of production is based on exploitation of humans by humans. Man in humanity to human. That's the way Karl Marx described, capitalism. Just want to explain the effect, the consequences of capitalism on labor, productivity, economic development, and believe that as production and of goods and services, is organized, exploitation is inherently embedded in it. And Karl Marx believed that this exploitation of groups within this productive process of capitalism will lead to violent revolution that will overthrow capitalists. Now, let me break it down more. According to Karl Marx, we have two groups of people in society. Within the productive process in society, in capitalist mode of production, you have what people that Karl Marx call bourgeoisie. The haves, those who have the means of production. Those we call the capitalists. As high class, and you have the proletariats, the poor, the masses, the have-nots at the lower. These are laborers who work in factories, who work in organizations, through selling of their labor. They only sell their labor. They do not have land. They don't own land. They don't own machine. They don't own the product. They don't own the productive processes. They don't own the tools. All they have too is their labor. So these are people that can mask, or the poor, they have not, because they do not have the means of production. You understand? So I think you get what I mean. So these are the lower class. So according to Karl Marx, society is divided into two: the capitalists and the laborers. And believe that in the production process, in terms of producing goods and services, this group of people are constantly antagonistic of each other. They continue to as they are producing, because the capitalists want to continually exploit, cheat the laborers, while the laborers also are conscious, may not be happy with this exploitation, but they are powerless because they only have their labor to sell. They don't have the most of it. So these are the two classes that Karl Marx theorized about, that they are in constant antagonism, constantly fighting. And historically, Karl Marx believed that capitalists are out to exploit laborers till death. And we talk about class struggle between these two people. It's this class struggle that Karl Marx is trying to use to explain exploitation. So the class struggle between the rich and the poor, the capitalists and the proletariat, is what Karl Marx, is using to explain that the effect of capitalism is to constantly keep these laborers poor, so that they can continually be exploited. So the social struggle, and Karl Marx believe, will lead to inevitable revolution, violent revolution, bloody revolution, because according to him, it gets to a time that the poor class, the laborers, will be conscious. That's what he calls class consciousness. Will be conscious of their exploitation by the capitalists. So they will transform from a class in itself as a group to a class for itself, to take its destiny to its hands and violently confront the capitalists and overthrow the capitalists. And that will mark the end of capitalism. Then we will have communism. That's the proposition of Karl Marx. That this violent overthrow of capitalists will lead to the end of capitalism, and there will be replacement with communism. So communism as the alternative to capitalism. That's what Karl Marx proposed. That's why Karl Marx, the popular quotation comes up and says, the history of all hitherto existing society is the history of class struggle. That if you look at it from the Asiatic, the feudal, the slavery, there's always been this class between the feudal system, the lords and the serfs, the slaves and the slave master. There's always been this conflict. So, by the way, Marxism is a conflict perspective, that this conflict continues. And there's always been, and in capitalism, you also have class struggle. But Karl Marx believed that capitalism is pregnant with the seed of its own destruction. Because the seed of destruction is this exploitation of humans by humans. Capitalists exploiting the laborers, the workers. So this is the seed of this destruction is exploitation. And Marx believed that capitalism is pregnant with the seed of its own destruction because of exploitation, because the workers will become conscious of this exploitation and overthrow them violently. So, they develop, communism, Karl Marx believed that will lead to shared ownership. If you are familiar with South Africa, you see the economic freedom fighter of Julius Malema. They are strongly Marxist because they are advocating for shared wealth, shared ownership of resources and shared wealth. So economic freedom fighters, they base their political struggle on capitalism. And it's very important for me to tell you that the works of theories of Karl Marx became very popular when he published the Communist Manifesto. The Communist Manifesto was a pamphlet published in 1848 with Friedrich Engels. Friedrich Engels. He published it with Friedrich Engels in 1848. The Communist Manifesto. That's where he laid the foundation for class struggle. The class struggle and revolution. Then he published another one alone in 1867. That is Das Kapital. Das Kapital was published by Karl Marx to further explain the danger, the evil of capitalism and the ultimate end of capitalism. When you talk about political economy, the Marxian political economy, then you're talking about the Marxism and the work of Karl Marx. When you talk about political economy, talk about economic determinism. According to Karl Marx, economy determines everything. All other social institutions, family, religion, politics, social media, education, and the rest of them, depends on the economy. The economy determines what happens in society. That's what Karl Marx called economic determinism. The economy is whoever controls the economy controls every other institution. So this mode of production, you know, as you have the means of production, the land, the factory, the product, and the production processes, the tools, the raw materials. These are means of production. What are used to produce things, and you have the forces of production, relations of production. Talks about how people relate among themselves in production processes, especially between the capitalists and the workers. So, and no, Marx does not believe in profit. He believes that profit is better considered as surplus value. Surplus value means the excess that the capitalists are meant to pay for workers, to pay them decent and correct wage that will justify their work. The capitalists refuse to pay it, and this excess that they, by underpaying the workers, this excess that should have accrued to workers, is what capitalists call profit. So for Marx, there's nothing like profit. It's just money that should have been paid to workers to commensurate their labor, to be commensurate with their labor and contribution in production process. That's what they refuse to pay, and that's what they are now calling profit. So for Marx, profit is just cheating. So you have the capitalists now, the Marx believe they will end in destruction, because the relation of production will continue to be antagonistic. Workers will become conscious of their exploitation and transform to class for itself, because there is also another concept of alienation, whereby Marx believe that workers are alienated. They are separated from production processes. Even the product they produce, they are alienated for it. They can't afford it. I've seen many of these designer things, products that will enhance life. Even workers cannot afford them, even though they were involved in producing them. So that's what they are alienated from everything. So, and you can see all of this. I believe there are criticism of this theory. The criticism, people believe it's too utopian. That's why today the prophecies or the claims, the proposal have not come to pass. Capitalism is getting stronger, more popular. The overthrow of the capitalists have not happened. Poor people continue to be poor. They have not been able to transform to class for itself. I know, and so these are things, the predictions have failed. So people believe that capitalism remains strong, spreading to other places, and they have not. But I still find this theory very pragmatic, applicable, popular, though macro, very macro, but it's not micro. So macro nature of it can be advantage and can be disadvantage. So people use it. Until I see you in my next video, thank you very much for staying tuned. Subscribe to the channel and tell others. I'll drop another video soon. Bye for now.